Wow, that is gorgeous. Armello is a digital board game about Game of Thrones level political intrigue with character roles filled in by animals. In it, you play as one of 8 characters, each with a little unique trait that helps them out in some way. Everyone's trying to become the next king in one of a few different ways, and none of your friends are actually your friends. Created by League of Geeks thanks to a crowdfunding program, Armello officially released a final version just a few days ago on September 1st. Armello is a game that may seem daunting at first because of how many rules there are to learn, but there's a fantastic tutorial in-game that not only provides you with some story and context, but also teaches you the game very, very well. Seriously, devs, props are deserved because this is one of the best tutorials for a board game I've seen. The story is fairly simple. The King of Armello has been infected by some magical disease from hell known as the Rot. He's essentially going crazy and bringing terror, ruin, and hell beasts to his once peaceful lands. The players, each as their own hero, are trying to become the next king and restore peace. Probably restore peace, anyways. You can play single round games solo against AI, or you can play online within a match of up to 4 players. Like I said, there are a lot of rules, so I won't go too in-depth to explain them. Just know these basics. There are 3 main ways to win. You kill the king without dying yourself, you have the highest prestige score when the king dies, or you gather 4 magical rocks, confront the king, and use the rocks to banish him. There are plenty of ways to set yourself up for these victories, and plenty of numbers and stats scattered around the game's rules and mechanics that all affect some facet of gameplay. Some stats give you a higher hand size, some allow you more mana, and some give you more dice to roll in combat. Thankfully, because this is a digital game, the computer keeps track of everything, as well as handling the movements and decisions of NPC factions in-game. This could very well have been a physical board game, but it wouldn't have been anywhere near as fun due to how much stuff there is to keep track of. Turns go in day-night cycles, so everyone can do something during the day, and then everybody gets to do something at night. The king loses 1 HP every dawn because of the rot that's infecting him, so the longest a game can really get is about 18 turns. It may sound like a long game, but in practice they're usually only about 30 or 40 minutes, which is actually pretty normal in amount of time for more tactical board games. Note that I said tactical instead of strategic. There's a lot of RNG going on in the world of Armello. Combat, dungeon runs, and even taking a riskier option to complete a quest are all left up to chance, though you can improve your odds. In combat or challenges, you can burn cards in your hand to lock in one of your die as a certain role, and you can improve your stats to have better odds on dangerous quest branches. Speaking of hands, cards, etc., there are 3 main varieties of card that can be played in Armello. There are items, spells, and trickery. Items will mainly be things like pieces of equipment to improve your rolls, spells can heal or even be traps, and trickery are all political cards. You can buff or debuff players, or even make deals with them in some ways. You'll draw cards at the beginning of your turn, and you can draw from any combination of the 3 decks until you've filled your hand back up. Where Armello really, truly shines, though, is playing it with your friends. There's just so much potential for actual instances of political subterfuge that I can't help but really want to screw my friends over. It's just so much fun to make treaties, pacts, deals, etc. with people you actually know and could even be directly communicating with during the game. It's almost cathartic. The art is straight out of a Studio Ghibli film. Every time I see a new card, I am absolutely just blown away by the detail in the artwork and animation. The actual 3D models and textures are beautiful too. The soundtrack is something on a whole other level. Amazing orchestrated works that are just filled with passion, bring out every aspect of the game. The only issue I have with Armello is that despite how many options you have for achieving victory, 9 times out of 10, the player with the highest prestige is going to end up winning. The king is incredibly hard to defeat in combat, especially without dying yourself. It takes a lot of time to gather 4 spirit stones, and even then you need to actually make it to the king. There aren't really any cards that affect the king's health either, so you can't make the games last longer in order to give yourself more time to prepare or gather stones. In addition to that, every dawn the king allows the player with the highest prestige to choose between one of 2 decrees, which are basically new permanent rules or one-time events that affect the game in a pretty sizable way. Things like -1 max health to all players, or scattering deadly traps across the board. Because of this, nobody really needs to go for anything other than prestige, and if somebody plays carefully, then they can very easily get a bunch of points and then just keep them. There needs to be some way to either give the king more health or to make the games last longer so that the other victory types can actually actually be viable. There's very clearly a lot of effort that's gone into crafting and balancing the rules of Armello, with the exception of prestige. This is a game that wants you, more than anything else, to make and break alliances with your friends in order to achieve your own goals. If you like board games, and you've got friends that like board games too, then you should give this one a run. If you want to see some animals stabbing each other in the backs while you wish this were a physical board game so you could deck your friends, you can pick it up for about 20 bucks on Steam. Seriously, the real reason this is digital is so you don't punch your friends in the throat. That is it for this episode of Indie Bytes. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe for more. Be sure to send me any indie games you think I should check out either in the comments down below or on Twitter. My handle's @forkh. You can also shoot me an email. It's fork4h@gmail.com. I will see you next time. Bye!